Hi guys, welcome back to Crafty Nurse, and today we are going to be making template number 5. So I cut out all of my templates using my Cricut machine, my Cricut Maker, because I bought it and I need to use it, but you can very well cut this template out by hand. This template comes with a score mark down the line, down the middle, and my Cricut machine actually can make that line. But for those who cut it by hand, it's quite simple to make that score mark. So all I'm going to use is a ruler. And I'm just going to line it up down the center. You can use any ruler for this. Another good ruler to use is a T-square, which has this part where you can easily line it up and get it more accurate down the center. But for those who don't have, I'm just going to use a regular ruler, and I'm going to use the back of my scissors. I'm just going to go it down the middle. There's no reason to do it twice. Once is just perfectly enough and not too hard. And then all I'm going to do is just fold along that line and then just go over it. And there we have a line down the middle. But since my machine pre-made all of these score lines, all I have to do now is just fold along the line. And I like to go over that with a squeegee. You can also use the back of a credit card. But I'm going to use my squeegee. And I'm just going to do that to all of the petals. So this template comes with 4 different petal sizes. It also comes with a base. It's a 6-sided base. And it also comes with 2 free centers. And the base always tells you how many petals will be needed, at least for the first layer. Because if you don't want to go 6 all around, you can go 6, 5. You can make the last one just 5. But generally it tells you how many petals you will need. How many petals you will need, yeah, for each layer. And another thing, I've noticed that my machine didn't get one of them directly in the center. So because that's bothering me, what I'm going to do is just fold it along the line that it made. And just going to use my scissors and just cut it out. You don't need to go all the way down. Just going halfway is perfectly fine. And then now we have it directly symmetrical. Folding along that line, pressing it down with my fingers, and then I'm going over it with my squeegee. This may be a very tedious step, but it makes all of the difference in the final look of the flower. It's what's unique and beautiful about this flower. And now I'm going to curl the sides of this flower. I'm going to curl it back. I'm going to do it all at once. If you find doing it all at once too difficult, by all means, separate them. You can do 3 at once, but I think all at once is fine for me. And you can use anything to curl it. That's roughly around this width. You can use the back of a glue pen. You can even curl this one with a regular hot glue stick. That works perfectly fine too. Just because it's a larger petal, I just like to use something a little bit larger, but using a glue stick is perfectly fine. And as you go down the sizes, I like to use something smaller and smaller. Like for this last one, I'm going to be using my X-Acto knife to curl it. So I'm just going to curl all the petal sizes, each layer. This last one, I'm going to use the X-Acto knife. You can also use a pen that's about this size. And now I'm going to take my flower, line it up, and I'm going to cut down the center. It's okay if you're not exactly on the line, because that won't really be seen in the final product. And I'm going to cut to about halfway, like just under halfway. You can see there. Going to do that for each layer. If you find cutting all 6 petals at once difficult, by all means separate them. You can do 3 at once. My scissors are doing just fine cutting all 6. And there we have it. And now we're going to glue. I'm going to put a line of glue to that edge and just fold it over. So this left side, just put a line of glue close to the edge there, and just take this right side and place it over. I'm going to be doing that to each of these different layers. last layer. On this layer, you really want to be careful with how you're placing the glue. You want to make sure you get no glue. I mean, on all of them, you will want to get no glue, like on the center or anywhere. But on this last one, you really want to be careful because it's the part that actually shows or could show in your final piece. Our center kind of hides any imperfections, but just in case it doesn't, you just want to be careful. Taking more of my time with this last one because it's the part that shows. Be rough and fast with the others, but this last layer, whatever you choose to be the last layer, you want to be very careful. Okay. And now I'm going to take my base. I'm going to take my largest petal size and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm only going to put a little bit of glue on the left side. That's when it's turned over on the left side. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom, and then I'm going to place it down. And I'm doing this because as I go all the way around, I want to be able to place that last petal. I want to be able to lift up the first one and place the last one underneath, so it has a more finished, clean look. You don't necessarily have to do this on the first layers of your petals. The last layer is where it really counts, but you can make a practice of doing it, like I'm trying to make a practice of doing it. It just makes an overall neater look. Just place a whole strip of glue on the bottom. I'm placing it on the sides of the base. And then when I come to this last petal, I just lift up that first one and then place that last petal down. And I'm going to take a little bit of glue and place it down like so. Just removing all of the little strings that you can get from your glue gun. And I'm taking my second layer and I'm going to do that same thing as just placing it a little bit of glue on the left side. And then I'm placing my petal down in between the last layer. Strip of glue on the bottom. Making sure it's in the center. Lift up that first one and place down that last petal. Sometimes you don't need to go back and place glue. Like right now, I'm not going to go back and place glue. It's pretty flat down, but if it was sticking up and looking a little wonky, I would place a bit of glue on the first petal. So now I'm on my third layer. I'm going to do the same process. Glue on the left side, place down, lift up that first petal and place my last petal down. And once again, I do not need glue. That glue, it's not lifting, it looks perfectly fine. And now the last layer is the layer you really want to do that, placing the glue only on the left side because it's the part that actually shows. I didn't encounter it here, but sometimes your second to last petal may go over your first one, and if that happens, just lift up your first and place it. It's no big deal. And now my last one, just lift up that, place it in the center, and now I'm just going to clean up these little strings that are on my flower. Okay, and now I'm going to take my center. So I have two. You can just use one, or you can choose to do both of them. I'm choosing to do both, and I'm just going to just press it up towards the center, all of these little small petals, long petals. And I'm going to place a dab of glue and just place it in the center. And push it back. And now with the second one, I'm going to do the same thing. Move it towards the front. Actually, I'm just going to grab it like this and place a dab of glue. I'm going to try to offset it so that this is in between there. And I think we have it. And once again, clean up all of these little strings that comes from the glue stick. And there we have it. And I'll also show you it in a smaller version. You can use, this is using just 3 layers, the last 3. And you can also even do just the last one or the last 2. But I'll tell you the sizes of these both. So let's go from this point to this point, and that is about 21.5 inches. Let's see if it's the same on both. Yep, about 21.5 inches. So this flower size, 21.5 inches. And the one just using 3 petals can give you a flower that's 15.5. And if you just want it to use, the very last one, it can give you a flower size of, hold on. It's looking about 7 inches. Give you a flower size of about 7 inches. So you can get 7 to 21.5 inches. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see your creations soon.